Exposing your narcissist. On my channel here, I have almost 80 videos on my channel and growing. And I'm just reflecting back on some comments on some of my older videos and some newer videos per se. Maybe not my newest, but I've gotten comments from time to time that how much it really takes a lot of guts to really come out and have your own channel about narcissism. And the initial reason why I started my channel, the very, very initial reason, was I wanted to share my experience and I wanted to start healing. I've always been the kind of person never to really keep things in me. I always felt better when I let it all out, like they say, get it off your chest. I've always been that kind of person. So initially, when I started my channel here on YouTube, I wanted to, like I said, get my story out, share my experience, and start the healing process. And looking back at my very, very first video on this channel, I was really, really a hurt and lost soul, but above all else, was very hurt. You can see the expression on my face of how hurt, how disappointed I was that I never had the mother that I should have. And coming to that reality of never having the mother that I needed, the love and just the empathy, nurturing, those are things that I will never get and never had, never will get from my narcissistic mother. And going no contact with her was the very best decision that I've ever made. And do I regret it? No, I don't regret it. And then as time goes on, or as time went on, that I'd done therapy for a period of time to try to understand what's happened to me, some of the issues that caused me not to have confidence in myself, some anger issues, some thought patterns that I was taught by my narcissistic family, along with a bunch of other things. But I know one thing that I remember learning, one of the things that I'll never forget that I learned in therapy, was to never, ever, ever compromise who I am. Do I really want the whole world to really like me? That was something that my therapist had asked. Do I really want the whole world to like me? And I remember answering that as, not if I had to compromise who I am. And bingo, I was right about that. And that's stuck in my mind ever since. That I'm not going to compromise who I am. So it all came about somewhere down the line about finding who I am. Did a lot of soul searching. Like I said, I did prayers, journaling, you name it, I've done it, along with the therapy. And by the grace of God, I've overcame, I survived, and I found closure. Now, it didn't happen all that fast. It was as I was doing work on myself, and as I was starting to find myself by taking a good look at myself and say, well, okay, Mary, what are you good at? There's got to be some things that you're good at. And once I found those things that I'm good at, I eventually found myself and what I'm all about. Even though right now that I still haven't found a job yet, even though I'm not giving up and I won't, still, I just feel that I just haven't found the right employers yet. And I know God will lead me to the right one. But anyway, I don't want to get off track here. But as time went on in doing my channel, and as I shared and exposed things that I went to growing up, even to my adulthood, and right at a time that I made up my mind to go no contact with my narcissistic mother and her flying monkeys, and of course my late enabling father, he died 3 years ago. And coming to share some personal things as I was growing up, what things were like, as I was letting it all out, I started to feel better. And from the feedbacks from every video that I've ever made, I felt so validated because I'm not alone. We're all not alone as far as being victims and surviving victims of narcissistic abuse. We're not alone. We all can relate to each other in some way, shape, or form of a matter, maybe even similarly, except maybe for a few elements that might be different. But as time went on, and the more things that I had to put out here on my channel, and exposing my narcissistic family for what they are, then at some point it came to a point to where I really wanted to help others. And at the same time of helping others, there are some events that do try to come up from time to time, and I'm not afraid to expose that. Even though I get the sense and the gist that my narcissistic family hates what I put out here on this channel. Even though I know it in my own heart and in my own intuition, I know that they don't like it and they're pissed off, then it's more like, oh well, the truth is the truth. And I'm not afraid of exposing the truth when it comes to my narcissistic mother and her flying monkeys and things that went on in my narcissistic family. But those of you out there who really want to expose the narcissist in your life, and for reasons that are quite understandable, maybe being found out or being tracked down or being stalked, or just the fear that the narcissist really instills in you, that's a battle, really, I hate to say, that you have to fight on your own. But I know that there's a part of you that really, really, really wants to expose them. But it's the fear that's holding you back. And whatever those fears are, you have to face them. There's a saying in the Bible, and I know it's from Philippians. I don't know the chapter, I don't know the verse, but this is so true. And I'm not trying to make this video a sermon by any means, but this scripture really says it all. When fighting for what you believe in, and even if it comes to exposing your own narc, that the scripture says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. And how I interpret that, even though I'm afraid, and I'm not afraid, but I'm just saying hypothetically, an example is saying that, okay, if I'm afraid, even though I'm exposing my narc family, I'm working out my own salvation, my own will, my own way of living, even though I might be scared of working out my own salvation, I will be feared. I will be feeling the fear, and a lot of me is trembling. But I'm fighting for my own salvation. I'm actually just fighting to make a comeback in my life because of the narcissistic abuse that I was subjected to, because narcissism really, especially coming from a narcissistic mother, that really has torn me in so many ways. That I didn't have a loving, supporting mother. She never came to my graduation, we all know that. She took away. She's taken a lot away from me. It's taken away the relationship I could have had with my enabling father when we did a bowling league together years ago. She took that away. So I guess my idea of salvation is trying to make that comeback in my life to where I'm happy, I'm healthy, which I am. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm whole. I'm a very changed person. I'm stronger. And even though I know I have a hint or a sense, even though I know that my narc family tries to plot things to try to scare me and try to intimidate me, yes, there could be a part of me that might be trembling. But I'm fighting for a comeback in my life. And I have to do it afraid. And even though with the fear in me, it also empowers me. I take that fear and I turn it around to fuel me to propel forward, to keep exposing and telling the truth about my own narcissistic family and all the bullshit they've put me through, especially my narcissistic mother. Do I have some anger still with me? I'm not going to lie. Because as a narcissism survivor, I'm going to from time to time feel some type of rage, some type of anger. All because my narcissistic mother took away something that I should have had. And she's taken a lot from me. As well as keeping my siblings against me, because they also, like I've always said in a lot of videos, that she has really kept them separated from me. All because each one of them serves a purpose for her. And I've said that in some videos here and there. And where am I as the family scapegoat as well? I have nothing for her to use of me. It's like, I don't have $1 million in the bank. I don't have a big house. I don't have a big fancy high paying job. I don't have all those things that she could use. That she could use me for. So therefore, in her eyes, and in my narcissistic sister's eyes, I'm their scapegoat. I am, I guess, the bad link to the family. So how do they handle that? By excluding me. And excluding me out of family holidays. They've done this stuff for years. Initially, yes, it did hurt me. But as time went on, I've grown quite numb to it. And now that God has blessed me a long time ago with a real loving family that love and accept me for who I am, I look forward to the holidays, and it could have not been any happier and any more joyful. Look forward to it every time. So, some things to think about. If you ever really want to expose your narcissist, ask yourself, what are you afraid of? Because I do have to admit, yes, it does take a lot of guts. And I guess that exposing your narcissist isn't for everybody. You know, some people better just keep things hush hush. Whatever the reason, I greatly respect that. But I can really say that exposing my narcs has been very validating based on feedback that I've gotten from all my videos, even private messages that I've gotten from time to time in emails and things of that nature. You know, it's gotten a lot of validation, and also when it got to the point of wanting to help others, and from some of your feedbacks, there's been quite a bit of you that's expressed to me in the comments, and even private messages of how much of a difference I've made in your lives. And I'm very happy and very glad to know that I made a difference, and that you drawing off my strength and my inspiration to you to become the person that you were meant to be, giving you that strength, the hope, the life back in your step again, I guess you could say. I'm glad to have been a blessing in your life, in everybody's life here. I'm glad to know that I'm making a difference. And like I said, from time to time I want to share things that maybe I've never shared before, or I have but probably didn't elaborate on, to even possibly maybe attempted contacts with my mother or something going on with my family. Believe me, I'm not afraid to put it out on here. So anyway, that's what I really need to say about that. But before I go, just want to let all of you know that I've been staying healthy, been losing inches, even though I've been plateauing off and on. I'm still active, and been juggling some things here and there, as far as trying to get a job, as far as doing things and becoming and being my fiance's patient advocate, because I know the medical maze is a lot more than he does, and helping him and guiding him. So I've been quite busy, and other than that, nothing else to really report here. Other than I'm still taking it one day at a time and walking towards even becoming even a better person. And whatever your decision is, whether to expose your own narc, that's really up to you. It really is up to you. If you're afraid, that's understandable. I'm not going to sit here and judge or make fun of anybody that's afraid to expose you know. But you never know, there might come a day to where you overcome all that fear and expose your narc. And if not, that's okay too. Nobody, it's basically your decision whether to expose them or not. But in exposing them, you're making them take a good hard look at themselves, and they don't want to look at it. It's like they love and they get off telling and exposing the truth about you, even if it's something you did 10, 20, 30 years ago. Oh no, they don't want to let it go. Believe me, my narc family is very notorious for that. They're definitely no exception. But anyway, just my thoughts. So right now I'm going to go ahead and end this video. So this is Mary Allen, wishing you peace, love, and joy always. Like I said, stay tuned for the next episode. Don't know what it's going to be about. So, till the next episode, this is Mary Allen signing off. Thank you. Take care. Bye for now.